Hello, I'm Jack Schinder, President of AMBICO Limited. Welcome to AMBICO's video demonstration of the installation of one of our specialized products, an acoustic door and frame assembly. Before beginning installation, be sure to read all printed installation instructions, which are included with this product when it is shipped. This video is meant to complement our written instructions, as we believe that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Performance-rated AMBICO door and frame assemblies have been tested as a complete assembly: doors, frames, and hardware. For this reason, installation is a very precise operation, and we are committed to assisting our clients in every way possible, as is evidenced by our factory support team and this video. We believe that this will ensure that AMBICO door and frame assemblies perform exactly as they have been tested in the laboratory and as provided in thousands of successful installations worldwide. AMBICO's door and frame assemblies carry an exceptional warranty. However, this warranty may be voided if these assemblies are not installed exactly as outlined in our instructions. This video assumes that an experienced installer has been contracted on your project, and therefore we do not provide a step-by-step primer for the installation of a door and frame. Project managers employ experienced installers who also have general knowledge of accepted construction practices. This video will embrace three main areas of door and frame assembly installation: the frame, the door, and the seals. Within each of these areas, there will be a number of very important instructions, which we ask you to follow closely to ensure the proper installation of the acoustic assembly. The installation of AMBICO's door and frame assemblies in your project provides the best product of its type in the industry. This video will assist you in ensuring that your AMBICO products perform exactly as specified.
A performance-rated door will not perform to its standard if the framing is in any way deficient. The frame is a most important component in the installation procedure. We will address the significance of the frame in the door and frame assembly. A checklist is supplied for your use in confirming that the door frame is plumb and square. Be sure to follow the various steps laid out in the checklist. Using a level, check the floor tolerances in the door opening where the threshold will be installed. The finished floor height is then checked, taking into consideration the floor covering, which is either present or which will be installed at a later date. The squareness and the plumb of the frame will now be checked. Do not rely on visual plumbing and alignment. Always use a level and a plumb bob. The header is checked for squareness using a level. The top and bottom of the hinge jamb are now checked using a plumb bob to confirm that they are within the tolerances set out in AMBICO's instructions. Repeat the plumb bob exercise on the strike jamb and measure the top and bottom of the strike jamb. When these are equal and within the established tolerance, the frame is plumb. The last step in confirming that the frame is square and plumb is to check that the hinge and strike jambs are level. Here, the installer is completing this check on the outsides of the frame. The door has been hung by an experienced installer with flooring in place. Before checking clearances, the installer refers to the acceptable clearances for the door being installed. In this case, 3/16 of an inch for header and strike jamb, and 1/8 of an inch for the hinge jamb. The installer will have available 3/16 inch and 1/8 inch drill bits, which he will soon put to use. Clearances are checked for the strike jamb using an appropriate size drill bit. Clearances are then checked for the header, again using the appropriate drill bit. Clearances for the hinge jamb are now checked using the same method. Here we demonstrate the strike jamb and the hinge jamb do not meet the stated clearances. To adjust these clearances, shims are installed on the hinge jamb. We note here that AMBICO does not recommend the use of what are known to installers as hinge doctors. Our installer demonstrates shimming that will ensure that acceptable clearances are attained on the hinge jamb. He then demonstrates corrected strike jamb and then hinge jamb clearances using appropriate drill bits to confirm that they are within the accepted clearances. Once the door is hung and all clearances are met, the threshold is installed. The threshold is cut to fit between the door jambs. The threshold is set in place so that the bevel is beyond the face of the door. This allows the seals to make proper contact with the threshold. Our installer demonstrates the shimming of the threshold, which is required for it to meet the door seal within the allowable clearances. One or both of two available items are used to check this clearance. Our installer demonstrates the use of a business card and or the use of a sprinkling of talcum powder over the threshold. The door is closed and opened. When the threshold is properly installed, the powder is gently brushed by the bottom door seal. Remaining space between the threshold and the floor should be filled with caulking or grout. The frame and door assembly is now prepared and ready for the installation of seals. Where shown on AMBICO shop drawings, acoustic brass seals are applied to the header, strike jamb, and the hinge jamb. Double-sided tape is applied to all seals before installation begins. The header seal is installed first. Install a foam rubber strip, foam side up, between the two flanges of the brass header seal only. Tolerances are checked again using that handy business card in your kit. It will just make gentle contact with the strip. Using a piece of wood as a cushion, a hammer is used to gently and carefully flatten the seal if the seal is too tight. If the opposite occurs, the contact is too loose, a putty knife is used to carefully bend the seal to tighten the seal tolerance with the door. Remaining seals are measured and cut. Cut the top of the outer leg of the jamb seal units on a slant to allow a snug fit with the header seal at the corners, approximately 1/8 of an inch. Follow these procedures to seal the strike and hinge jambs. Care must be taken to ensure that the door is not too tight, which would result in problems with opening and closing. A secondary seal is applied to the header, hinge, and strike jambs. Cut a length of acoustic rubber aluminum sealing strip to fit the frame header from jamb to jamb. Carefully cut away 1/2 inch of both the aluminum and flat portion of the rubber from each end to allow the header seal to extend past the stop on each side. Note the rubber bulb is still intact. Using a drill and the screws supplied, install the header seal with the rubber located against the header stop. Do not deform the aluminum strip by over-tightening the screws. Use every other screw hole to attach the seal. Close the door and again use a regular business card to test the seal. These seals should be just tight enough to hold the card in place. Additional pressure will make the door difficult to latch. When this setting is obtained, install the remainder of the screws. Our installer has cut the hinge and strike jamb seals at 45-degree angles, ensuring that the rubber seal overlaps the top header seal. Our installer demonstrates the smooth operation of a perfectly installed AMBICO acoustic door and frame assembly. This assembly has been installed to meet all tolerances and to function in accordance with its acoustic performance rating.
We cannot overemphasize the importance of the precise installation of AMBICO's performance-rated acoustic doors. Installation instructions are readily available for all AMBICO door and frame assemblies. Thank you for watching AMBICO's installation video.